Welcome here to TalkFCB. I am back and ready to go again on the Barça front. And today, what we are going to be doing is looking at some of the players that we have and that we've seen really showcased over the past week that are serious quality. As the likes of Gavi and indeed Sergio Busquets are high on our agenda. We are also going to be talking about some managerial rumours too, with Spain coach Luis Enrique and Ajax's boss Erik ten Hag discussed in some detail. It is all coming up, so let's get back into it. Because if we do indeed kick off this video by talking about Gavi, and that is honestly the only place to start, because this man has taken the international break by storm. He made his debut, of course, for Spain during the start of this break there at 17 years old, starting in the Nations League semi-final in midfield there against the current European champions Italy. Did he look out of place? No, he didn't. Unbelievable. Honestly, watching this young man, it's inspiring. I think you're in awe when you're watching him. You can't believe that he's performing at this kind of level, at this age. He's so confident. He is so calm. And as Luis Enrique said it himself there, after that Italy game, he said he plays like he's in school, or he's at home there, playing in his garden. Luis Enrique could not believe the kind of level that Gavi was showing, and we have all felt the same way over these past two games there for the Spanish national team, because then following up that semi-final display against Italy, Gavi then started in the Nations League final, this time against the reigning world champions in France. And he was wonderful. He was absolutely magnificent in that game, especially there when you look at the first half. He was running rings around France's midfield. He was getting in behind there, Paul Pogba. He was getting between the lines, picking the ball up, moving. They couldn't get near him. They could not get the ball off him. And what I really liked about Gavi, not only what he could do in possession, not only that technical quality that of course he has there coming through La Masia, working his way up at Barcelona, but it's also for me what he does without the ball, out of possession. The tenacity in his performance. That's the word that I would use there to describe Gavi's displays. They're tenacious. Because if he loses the ball, or if his team is out of possession, he's looking to win it back. He's closing people down. And I have to say, he uses his body really, really well. You think about Xavi and Iniesta, and I don't want to start making any sort of comparisons, but simply on this point here, they were slight, they were small, they were very, very small in their stature, but they knew how to position themselves. They knew how to use their body to either keep control of the ball, to win the ball back, to escape pressure. Gavi showed all of those qualities, all of those characteristics there. He was not scared of anybody. And it is unbelievably exciting right now for us Barcelona fans to have somebody here, 17 years old in Gavi, who looks unbelievably talented. And this just comes, of course, right after the breakthrough of Pedri. 18 years old. We are looking right now at two insanely talented young midfielders who could dominate there for the next decade. Another player, though, that I do want to discuss is indeed Eric Garcia, who, of course, didn't get the same sort of limelight as Gavi. I have to say that he wasn't, of course, as impressive, but I did think that, particularly in that final there, starting at centre-back, Luis Enrique puts a lot of faith in Eric Garcia. He looked much, much more assured, much more in control than he has done at Barça. And I think that's particularly important right now when you're looking at club level, our defensive shape, our structure. It doesn't matter who you are in that team. I think you're going to struggle right now. You're going to have problems. And I think Eric Garcia showed a lot of what he could do. Of course, on the goal, the winning goal there for France, plenty of controversy about that. I honestly don't understand that rule, the interpretation of that rule. The fact that Eric Garcia there touches that ball, apparently, resets the offside. So the fact that he's tried to intercept that from reaching Mbappe, who is offside, he is trying to stop Mbappe, who's offside, getting the ball. The fact that he touches it there, he doesn't pass it to him. He just couldn't quite intercept it, then resets it all so that Mbappe then is suddenly onside. Very, very strange rule for me. And Garcia, after the game, he said the same. He said, what should I do? Just step aside? Let him run? If he'd have done that, if he hadn't even bothered to try and get the ball, Mbappe would have been offside and that goal would not have counted. But if there's one thing that I would say about Eric Garcia right now that I would like to see him do, it is actually there bulk up a little bit. I would like to see him there. He's still only 20 years old. I'd like to see him go in the gym, start to do some muscle work there to make himself a little bit stronger, because honestly, I don't feel like his height is the massive problem. I don't feel as though being a little bit shorter than most centre-backs is a massive issue, but what I would like to see him do is impose himself a bit more, start to be more commanding there in his area. And like I say, he's still very, very young indeed, and he's got plenty of time here to grow and improve, but I would look there at somebody like Javier Mascherano. He was a bit shorter too. He, of course, wasn't a natural centre-back, but at the same time, look at the way he commanded his area. Look at the intensity that he played with, and the fact that he could bully many centre-forwards there just by his stature alone. Eric Garcia, put on that bit of muscle, bulk up a little bit, because you want to try and strike fear into your opponents. But of course, the one man that I really do want to highlight, the one man that I really do want to talk about in some detail, it's Sergio Busquets, who right there was named as the best player of any of the teams in the Final Four, following on there from his very, very impressive European Championships back in the summer. He won multiple Man of the Match awards there whilst playing for Spain in their impressive run. Busquets, at international level, he's a different player. And that is no exaggeration. It is night and day between what we see at Barça and what we see with the Spanish national team. This is a player who is not finished. He's not done. He's not over. He is still phenomenal for Spain. You look at him in that final yesterday playing against a brilliant, brilliant France midfield. He dominated them. He absolutely dominated them. You could see their yellow cards coming for Paul Pogba, for Jules Koundé. Why? Why? Because Busquets was too quick. Because his mind was about 10 paces ahead of them. He was getting to balls before they could even think about it, and some of the passes were exquisite there. Popping balls in behind, reverse passes. It was absolutely vintage from Sergio Busquets. And the question would be, what is the problem then at Barça? I think for one, what we do at Barça and the system that Ronald Koeman plays with, or the lack of system, is the fact that Busquets there is left badly exposed in midfield. I think at Spain, he's surrounded there by more bodies, because it's almost like Luis Enrique looks at Sergio Busquets and thinks, okay, I've got a brilliant player there, somebody who can really help me dominate games, who can be assertive, who can be composed in the right areas. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to protect him. Whereas at Barça, I think Koeman just looks at Busquets and thinks, okay, he's just another player in midfield. I'm just going to treat him like anyone else. Because no, he doesn't have the legs there. He doesn't have the ability to cover large areas of space, to be athletic and cover a lot of ground. That's not the player that he is. So don't play him that way. You do not want to leave him exposed. You do not want to leave him there to cover large spaces when Barça are out of possession and caught in transition. And I just think right now, we are looking at a player who does still have quality, who can still decide games from midfield. And you all know that Busquets, at his best, he's wonderful. He is a world-class player, but at Barça, you've got to help him. You, as the coach, have got to find a system that works for this magical midfield man. And it is indeed very, very intriguing, isn't it, to see so many of these Barca players go away on international duty there under other coaches in different systems, in different setups, and manage to thrive, to actually there go out and achieve their potential. That's what we want to see from every single player at this club. We want to see them achieve exactly what they can do. And I don't think we're seeing that right now. And I don't think we've been seeing that for quite a long time. And given what we've said there about Luis Enrique's system, and particularly the way that he seems to get the best out of Barcelona players, especially there when you're looking at bringing through young players like Pedri, like Gavi, there have been plenty of questions from Barca fans, and indeed in the Spanish media, about whether Luis Enrique, if Barca are out there looking for options, if Barca are looking to bring in a new Barca coach, could Luis Enrique be an option? And of course the big question would be, would Luis Enrique return to Barca? Of course he was here as a player, achieved very, very good things as a player, and of course came back then as Barcelona coach in 2014, and he again achieved history. He is a legend of this club, make no mistake about that, before he left there after his third season in 2017. The one thing that I would say, and the one thing that I would really applaud about Luis Enrique, is the fact that, you know what, he left in 2017 when he felt he couldn't give any more. When he was there thinking, okay, I don't feel as though the team is moving forward under me, I don't feel like we're making the progress that I want, so I'm going to leave. And that is a sign of someone who really cares about the club. And I would actually look right now at Luis Enrique and the squad and the situation that we have at our club right now, and I would almost say that actually, is he more suited right now to the current Barca than the previous Barça. Because I think before there was a lot of big names, there was a lot of stars, there was a lot of pressure and a lot of expectation on that Barcelona team. Right now, he's got a lot of youth to deal with. Expectations are not particularly high. You know, you can go and overachieve, you can go and get the best out of these players and really put us back up there again. And I do think he could really make a good job of what we have right now at this club. Unfortunately for us, he has a contract right now until the end of 2022 after the Qatar World Cup. And of course, I think right now with Spain, they reached the Euro semi-finals. They were extremely unlucky there to lose to Italy. They could have easily gone on and won the Euros. They've reached the Nations League final. What Luis Enrique is doing is brilliant with the national team. He's building something. He's really working towards a big end goal that is the World Cup. When you add Ansu Fati to that team, it's going to be absolutely amazing. And I don't really feel as though he's going to leave all that behind. I think international football here suits him as a person, his personality. I think it suits his lifestyle very, very well. And I honestly don't think right now, as much as I think it would be a great fit and he would do great things again at this club, I don't really see it happening in the near future, or maybe even ever again. And since we are indeed speaking about those coaching rumours about potential people there that have been linked to the Barca role, should it become available in the near future, of course, one of the people that we have to talk about is Erik Ten Hag. Lots of people there asking me about the big rumour that came out there linking Ten Hag with a move to Barca, because it was quite a few days ago now that NACIONAL there reported that Barcelona have reached an agreement in principle with Erik Ten Hag to become the new coach of the club from the summer of 2022. So the rumour there basically said that Ten Hag would complete the season with Ajax and then in the summer he would become the new Barca coach, and that we'd already made all the agreements for that to happen. And I do think, guys, quite honestly, although it's not the most reliable source ever, I've got to say that El Nacional, they're not sort of, the category one, they're not tier one, anything like that. They are somebody who can be hit and miss. And I think that's the problem right now. This could be true. We don't know. It could be true. It could be completely false. Because as of right now, we've got no idea what the club's plans are. It's very, very curious what's going on with Ronald Koeman. Have we then made an agreement for the coming summer? That would make a lot of sense. But would Ten Hag be open to that move? That, again, would be the question. What we do know, 100% certain, is that Ten Hag does not want to leave Ajax mid-season. He's got a contract right now until 2023. That contract could be broken in the summer. Probably wouldn't take a big amount of money to do that. But what he's not going to do right now is leave halfway through the campaign. Much like Luis Enrique, he's got a really good thing going on at Ajax. He's got a really good project there. Plenty of players that he's brought through that are now flourishing in that Ajax team. He's going to complete the season. He's going to complete this project. Will that end at the end of the current campaign? And if it does, are Barca going to be welcoming Ten Hag to the club? It remains to be seen. We simply won't know until it happens. So for now, let's wait and see. So that right there, guys, was just getting back into the swing of things now as we enter the week where Barca will return this coming weekend against Valencia. We, of course, are going to be talking a lot about that game coming and indeed Ronald Koeman's future and what we can expect from this Barcelona team. Please do let me know, though, your thoughts down below on Gavi, on Erik Garcia, Sergio Busquets, and indeed those rumours linking us with Luis Enrique and Erik Ten Hag. Let me know those thoughts down below. I'll be seeing you soon with more videos, of course. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça!